What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Rip City Rundown podcast. It is episode 74. Haven't talked about Blazers in quite a while for some obvious reasons. It's me and Cole in the pod today, no West, as you can see. We try to keep these pods positive, but boy, we have come to a time where it is hard to be positive, and there will probably be some negativity in this podcast. We said it last podcast. After All-Star break, we gotta win some games if we want to make the playoffs. What do? We do the complete opposite. Go 2-8, 2-9 since the All-Star break, eliminating our chances of making the playoffs. So, Cole, how you feeling? I mean, I'm overall just really disappointing. Second year in a row, Blazers will not make the playoffs. So,
Well, the last, if you want to know how I'm doing, the last Trailblazer game I actually watched, and like not just full game, I mean any portion of the game, was the one we lost to the 76ers on the buzzer beater, and that was March 10th. So I've gone 11 days without a Blazer game. I missed the last four games for good reason. Four losses. Some of those games with Dame, some without, some without Grant, some with the Blazers. I think Dame said it best last night when he was asked. We're out at this point. We aren't mathematically out, but we're basically out. We're 4 games back of the 10 seed with about 10 games left. So sure, you could argue we could get in there, but we're basically out. But Dame clearly knows we're out, but it's just the fact that we have to accept the fact that we're going to go through another final stretch like last year is what's hard to accept. We all
yeah.
know we need to, but it's still just one of those things where we have the same odds as last year, or actually we have one spot better odds than last year, and we've been trying to win all year. That's kind of
Yeah.
sad. Now our record is better, so that's my kind of a misleading stat, but that still just sits at just like how disappointing this season has been, especially after such a great start.
After just initial thoughts at the beginning of the season, like 15 teams in the West. We are there are 13 teams better than us in the West. In the West, 12 teams better than us in the West.
Check that
How is
math,
that
buddy.
even possible? How is that even possible? And with the construction of this roster and just what I was anticipating. Okay, I'm gonna say it. 2 years ago, or I should say, going into the season after we lost to Denver in the playoffs, my expectations were kind of low. I mean, yeah, we got rid of Terry Stotts, but everyone was like, it's gonna be a good season. Deep down, I didn't really think it was going to be a good season. I was right. However, going to this season, I actually thought this was going to be a good season. Us acquiring Jeremy Grant, that 3 and
Hmm.
D wing we're looking for, us acquiring defensive aspects in Josh Hart and Gary Payton II, even though he didn't end up playing in Josh Hart trade, whatever. It's just second year of Chauncey. You to say that there would be 12 teams better than us,
In just their
and
conference.
how about this? How about I throw this on top? What if I told you that there were 12 teams better than us this season and Dame would average 32 and a half this season and have his best season of his career, arguably?
What's
I don't know, dude.
crazy is I'm like looking at Ant's stats. Ant's averaging 21 and 4 assists and shooting the ball. Let's see, he's shooting 45% from the field, 38% from three. If you told me that at the beginning of the year, I'll be like, okay, solid Ant year. Nothing crazy, but definitely not regressing in any means. He's having a solid Ant year. If you told me Jeremy Grant was going to be averaging 20 points per game and shooting the ball he's still over 40% from three, I would be like, wow, that's exactly what we needed. Huge pickup. And
Yep.
he's played solid defense this year. I don't think it's been as good as we had hoped, but he hasn't been a negative like other people. So I now you can go down to other players. I don't want to even get into it, but from the at least the top three has relatively played to how I expected. So that's just what makes it. It's so weird that we're this bad. And at the end of the day, it comes down to our defense. We're back to, I don't know the exact number, but I know we're back to a bottom five defense. And I hate going here, but at at this point you have to look at, is it coaching? Now,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna talk about this and we can have our differing opinions, but in my opinion, I gave my full thoughts on Instagram the other night, just in a long, long just Instagram story just paragraphs. But I can't really sit here and blame honestly anyone for our struggles. I know how wild that sounds. You can't blame Dame clearly. You can't blame like you can look at some of the players and say you need to play better, but I can't blame Chauncey and I can't blame Joe. And the reasons for that is from Chauncey's perspective, he doesn't have a fully complete roster. Should we be better than we are? Yeah, we should be a little better than we are. But we're not a championship roster at the end of the day. And we've dealt with a ton of injuries. And Chauncey, at the end of the day, he came in, and when he came in, Neil Olshey was his GM. He had a completely different team president, a completely different front office. He's got a completely new front office that that since he came in. And then you look at
Unbelievable.
Joe. Joe picked up a team that was full of aging veterans that had zero trade value and that was on terrible contracts. You look at it like
So
CJ, Rocco. Norm's contract isn't even that bad. Um, but you look at that, and then you also can't even get into the fact that he has no picks to trade because of Neil Olshey. So we'll get into this and like when will be the point where we'll like say, okay, it's now or never. Like how long are we gonna keep giving them this leash? But that's kind of just like my initial like spill on like just how I feel about the two people that people for good reason are asking to either do something or leave.
yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I remember at the beginning of the season, we were generally saying like, is Chauncey coach of could he be coach of the year? Boy, did that age like milk in a microwave on high. Like, oh my God, dude, it is
Never heard that
just
one.
I just thought of that on top of my
I
head. But
assume milk in the
overall,
microwave is not good.
it is brutal. But as in as our coaching, like, okay, everyone in the Instagram comments are thrashing Chauncey. For me, how much more time do I give him before I'm like, I'm already to the point where I'm mad because this season was definitely, a strike one for him,
Mhm.
arguably strike two, you could say from last season. But I don't know, like you said, we haven't built a championship roster, so how much can you, I guess? Well, a lot of people are also complaining about the rotations because there are some questionable rotation
Mhm.
decisions he does. So I don't know. I feel like this could honestly be it this next year. If we suck again with the roster we have now or better, I think we could see him walking out the door. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna see
I'm
if I
I'm,
can
I'm gonna
try to
say that.
I'm gonna see if I can try to pull up what I put on Instagram just to make sure I'm getting my thoughts correct because I liked what I said. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So like I said, I'm not blaming either Chauncey or Joe just yet. Um, I said Chauncey's been given a terrible situation. He was forced to tank in year one. He's had constant injuries and an overall rather mediocre roster. Also, the entire front office that brought him in is gone. It's hard to ask a coach to succeed under that. And then I also can't blame Joe because Joe is trying to build a roster for the future, and he's also trying to build a roster for now around Dame. And that's like what we're asking him to do is kind of crazy. And I think that's something that I think he needs to make a decision on. He's like, okay, you either got to trade Dame or you just got to go all in on Dame. I don't think any fan is going to get mad if we trade Sharp for enter win now all-star. If it doesn't work out, I don't think people are going to get mad. I think they're just going to be glad that like we gave Dame a chance with another star. I think right now we're in the process of like we talked about this at the trade deadline, but we're like asset collecting. We're bringing in people that we could possibly trade. We traded Hart for a first round pick that clearly doesn't, and Cam Reddish that clearly doesn't help us win now, but you could argue Cam Reddish down the line could be better than Josh Hart in the future, or he brings a little bit of trade value, and then you get that first round pick that brings trade value. So I think it's going to come down this summer, and then next season is when I am make or break. I don't care what the roster, or if the roster is bad, I won't put my blame on Chauncey. I'll say, Joe Cronin, okay, it's time for you to go. You've had 3 years. You finally got able to wipe your hands of the Neil Olshey situation, and you've had your chance to make moves. And if the roster's good and we don't end up having a good season, then the blame goes to Chauncey. You finally have your good roster and you still can't win with it. So And while that, in a sense, could be unfair because we're, in a sense, giving them one real season of true talent, that's just unfortunate. The whole Dame timeline is making this a lot harder than it needs to be, but that's previous GM's faults for making it have to be this desperate when he's 32 years old. So
Yep. Just to
it's
get a broad perspective on everything, I just want to ask you a straight up question. Why do we suck? And take that. Okay, because I look at our team and I generally think we are very talented.
all
Jeremy
right.
Grant is very talented.
Okay, you want to hear why we
Damian
suck?
Lillard, give me a sec. Yeah, you got. I want you to
Actually,
hear
I
your
want to hear
opinion in a
what
second.
I want to hear what you think
Okay.
too.
All right. So Damian Lillard is one of the best players in the league. Jeremy Grant, amazing. Nurk, solid. And we had like Josh Hart, solid, and freaking Shaden Sharp, arguably one of the could be rookie of the year. No, he's not, but like he's up there for it.
He's
So
had his
okay,
moments.
sorry, I'm trying to think and read at the same time. What I would say why we suck, it's obviously defense, but specifically because there's no way OKC should be better than us. There's no way the Jazz should be better than us. It just makes
It's
no
fair.
sense. But I think it's the same story. Simons, Dame, two undersized guards. That's it. I think that construction is just not even defense wins championships, and
Hmm.
you can't like the defense is so bad with the way our team is constructed. I mean, your two best players can't be under 6'7" nowadays, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Um,
So I'll say overall, I'm gonna say defense, but I'm honestly confused. Like that's why I'm stuttering on words over here because I actually don't really know
like, why are we
why
a good
we
team?
suck,
And at the end of the day,
why we
that could
suck
come
deep
back to
down.
coaching, which is something I think I don't want to admit yet, but I think it could be the thing that you have to say at the end of the day. I have to give Chauncey somewhat of a benefit of the doubt because when we saw we were a fully healthy roster, and I know every team deals with injuries and they still are able to fight through it, but I don't think our talent as a team is good enough to be able to sustain injuries. Clearly, we're not good enough to do that because now that we've had, and I know they're little ticky-tack injuries, but like Justice Winslow is a really key piece to our team who, if you're going to be a championship team, Justice Winslow probably shouldn't be a key piece to your team, but he is for ours, and that's why our defense has probably slipped a little bit over the last 2 months since he got injured, which is just, it's unfortunate. So
So why do we suck? If
why
you
do
were to
we
sum it
suck?
up to a third grader, if you were to sum it up for a third grader, why are the Blazers the second worst team in the West, third worst team in the West?
I think the Blazers, okay, how do I phrase this? Because I don't want to base this off the expectation that we were going to win a championship, because if that was the expectation, then you were out of your mind. And I think obviously we harp on it all the time, but the 10-4 start, the 1 seed start, really kind of just messed with fans' expectations because I think we all deep down knew that this team wasn't a 1 seed, as good as it was. Now we should be in the plan. That was my preseason expectation, and I think we should still like we are talented enough to be an 8 seed, a 7 seed. Why we aren't that? Sorry, I'm trying to stall because I'm trying to think because I don't
Like,
know.
because you don't know why we suck, because
I
these are
don't know.
great
We
players. These are
look.
great
I think the
players.
reason we suck is because we're dealing with injuries and we haven't had a full chance to gel. I think some players we were expecting to lean on this year just didn't show up. A la Gary Payton. Like he was supposed to be this revelation to help our defense, and we know how that went. I think Nurk has really struggled this year. I think he's shown he still brings plenty of value to this team. He's much better than a starting center than Drew Eubanks, but the lack of size hurts a lot. Like as much as we praise Drew Eubanks and it's warranted, we praise him because he's playing to the best of his ability, but at the end of the day, he's not that good and he's not big enough to have the opportunity to be good. So not having anyone like Nurk or his size kills us. And I hate to say it, but I think you're right on the two guards and your two best players can't be basically the same player. That's why And like you said, like you have to have one of your best players be a wing at the end of the day. You look at past champions. You got Giannis, you got Draymond, you got LeBron and AD, Kawhi, KD. Then you can go back more Draymond, LeBron. Like no one is winning with their two best players being their guards. You could argue that it was Clay and
Golden State.
Steph, but
Yeah.
they
But
had
Clay's
they
Clay,
had the Draymond,
yeah, and
who
Clay's
was like
not
would be
really
the
a
second best player in his
guard.
prime on most teams. So it's at this point, I really hope that Dame just sits out. So I don't feel a need to check the score after every game to see what Dame put up because that's the only thing I look at now when I wake up in the morning and I want to see the score of the Blazers because I already know we're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Ouch.
I have a little hope that like we win because Dame is a crazy performance, but I don't even want to have that hope anymore. I want to just completely move on from the Blazers, which
Yep.
sucks because like I really want to see Dame in the playoffs. That's some of
Yep.
the most fun basketball imaginable.
Yep. This
Dude,
is, I
okay,
believe.
you want to know what I saw the other day? A tweet after the Clippers game, and
Oh, I saw it.
it blew me. It had to
I
do with
saw it.
Russell Westbrook and Paul George.
Oh no.
Oh, well, you tell me
Go
what yours
ahead.
is too. But mine was, ooh, it's how the tides have turned. Dame sent Russell Westbrook and Paul George out of OKC, and Russell Westbrook and Paul George are doing the same thing. They're about to send Dame out of Portland with this game. Like, holy
This is a regular
insert.
season
This is
game
a
where
regular season game
Dame is arguably an MVP.
where we know that we suck. This is no
Mhm.
playoff game. This is no, we're
Yep.
not talking trash to you guys. First off, Russell Westbrook, the only reason you're on the Clippers is because you weren't good enough for the Lakers. And Paul
Yep.
George just happened to be your best friend and gave you a chance. That was just
Hmm.
that that blew my mind that some people actually think that. What did you see though?
I'm trying to find it. Give me a second. Oh, it was a text. Gotta go to messages app and not Instagram.
Yeah, I probably
Okay.
didn't see your text.
Okay. This is my friend. He hates Dame. I don't know why. He just says it to piss me off, but
Imagine
it
being
was,
that guy.
yeah, I know. It did blow my mind though, this stat. Damian Lillard versus Clippers and Kawhi and PG, or sorry, Damian Lillard versus the Clippers in Kawhi and PG era. We're 1-8 against the Clippers.
Oh,
Yikes.
nice.
He 19 points per game, 35% field goal, 22 from three. So just kind of interesting. But
Well, yeah,
I
I
mean,
do remember in the bubble when like he missed some free throws down the stretch and they were talking trash to him, but
I
that's
don't
besides the point. Who cares?
I don't know why Russ and PG we even want to talk. Like Dame is just he's not even on their level. He's just
Hmm.
not even on their. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, Russ back in the day, okay, fine, but like especially now, and
Yeah.
you know, Neb,
Are
like
are you in the
finals.
same thinking of me that and I think you even already said it earlier, but like if it come next year, we still stink, like fire everybody, fire Chauncey, fire
Yes.
Joe.
Yep.
Like it's time to move
I'm in
on.
the boat. I am in that boat because we have the talent this year. You can only get so much talent, but it just shows how important construction is. And
And
it's such a
I
shame.
assume oh yeah, continue.
It's such a shame when you have talent and you don't use it to the best of your ability. Because if we were to, I guess you can't do this, but in a magical world, trade our talent for just better construction,
Mm.
like you could argue we could be a championship team. Like we are literally, I could I would argue we are the fourth,
Like
maybe
honestly, if you
most
probably put our
talented team in the
if you
West.
added up our 2K ratings, we're a better team than
Yeah, sure, that's a good way to look at it.
um I
Then
don't
probably everyone except
we're probably not better
Denver.
than the Suns or Denver, but we're better than the
Talking in the
Kings
West.
probably.
I'm talking about the West. Yeah,
Better than the
Denver,
Kings, but the Kings fit so well.
Warriors. Yeah, exactly. It's all about construction. And dude, you just can't have two guys shooting 20 point to 30 points a game that are 6'4" or lower. You just can't. Like you saw it
So
with
are
Simon
you
CJ,
are
and we were like, oh, Simons is more athletic and a tiny bit better defender, so he's gonna be that big difference. No, he's not. I learned that this year. Like we really thought Simons would be that much different than CJ. Sure, Simons is a more athletic. Sure, he's a little more explosive. Sure, he probably is a better defender than CJ by a tiny bit. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna move the margin that much to make you a championship team nowhere even close. So
okay, so say you're the GM, you're going into the off season. Is your like big piece that you're willing to move for another big piece are you like saying Anthony Simons is available?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
where do you stand on trading Sharp and Simons? Where do you stand on
Here's an
trading? Because
interesting
you look at that, everyone's saying that once Dame goes, it's going to be the Simons and Sharp backcourt.
here's an interesting thing to think about. If you're a GM, if you are put yourself in the GM shoes, are you really thinking, obviously you want to win a championship. That's like your technical main goal of your job, but you're also just trying to keep your job.
It's a
So
great
like,
point.
would you
That's a good
rather
point. That's what Joe's
like
trying to do right now.
like would if I was a GM and I was trying to keep my $500,000 a year contract, whatever how many money GM makes, I would, you know, just try to not get fired and look at Neil Shea did. He milked that contract
Oh
from
yeah,
eight
yeah.
years from us.
Just make
Never
the
made us a
playoffs.
contender. Just make the playoffs. Just big enough to say we'll get him next year, boys. But if I'm like a GM saying I actually want to win a championship, I would be aggressive. And if it goes bad, then I'm gonna get fired. But whatever, at least I tried. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think all GMs are doing that. They're just trying to keep their job because at the end of the day, it is just a business. And if
That's a
Joe
good point.
says to himself, if I can just make ourselves good enough next year just by this much without doing too much risk and firing myself, that's good enough for me. So
Here's why I think Joe is kind of different than that, and I think he actually truly will, assuming something's available, like try to attack and go after it. It's because he's actually been open and honest about what he's trying to do. We never heard something like Neil Olshey saying like, "Oh, we tried to make the moves," or "This is what we're trying to do. We're gonna make the big move." He also has a great relationship with Dame, and I assume like through all these conversations, there's no way he can have 30-minute conversations almost like before every game, just sitting by the court with Dame and go back to his office and be like, "Man, I just don't want to get him any help." There's just no way as a human being you could do that. So
oh, there
that's the
is.
funny side. Oh no, yeah, there is. But he also Joe Cronin's been here for a long time. Like when Neil Olshey was the GM, he was working within the front office. So he's seen 12, 15 years of mediocrity. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta think he wants to get a star in.
Anyway,
But it's such a hard thing to do.
to answer your question before, what would I would do? Yes, I would probably make anyone available other than Damian Lillard for maybe to build a Suns 2021 type of team where you have Damian Lillard and then just really good construction on defense and shooting, or go for that one star. I mean, I don't really know the specifics on which I would want more, but just not what we have now. Repetitiveness, and with Damian Lillard, you need your Damian Lillard 6'2". You need your second best player needs to be 6'8" at least. And you know, that's probably I would make everyone available other than Damian Lillard if I was a GM, even Sharp, even Simons.
And I'm assuming you're also in the camp of
I probably,
this is
I
the camp
probably,
I'm in.
I probably want to keep Grant, but at the end of the day, if I have to trade him for someone, I will.
Yeah, I would agree. I think all hands on deck, everything's available.
You know,
Um, I assume you're in the camp like if you had the opportunity to go all in for 1 or 2 years with Dame or trade Dame and build yourself for the future to have a better chance at winning a championship, you're taking the 1 to 2 years with Dame.
yes, by far.
Agreed. Agreed. Which is probably why the Blazers won't win a championship in the next 10 years because we're in the unfortunate scenario, like I said earlier, that we're waiting until now to get desperate. Whereas we should have been desperate when he was 27.
Yeah, what has given me at least some faith though is this is Dame's best season, arguably, probably I'd say
It's been
unanimously,
his
everyone
best
vote.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
He might be
32.
all
So
NBA first team.
yeah, so and he's 32. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna have a better season next year. Well, hell, he could, but my point is like 3 years down the road, even 4 years down the road, assuming he doesn't have a big injury, like he should still be hovering over around the top 10 best NBA players. And if we have that for 4+ years with an aggressive GM, anything can happen. But then at the end of the day, you live in Portland. No one wants to live here. So we'll see how it goes. But
Uh, I'm trying. I'm trying to.
okay, wait, I want
I
to talk
don't.
about this for a tiny bit. So just let me just sprinkle it in. I'm just gonna say one word. Victor. Okay, so what are your thoughts?
That's it. Okay. If we end up with a first overall pick, we're obviously keeping it and taking Victor because it helps our future and it helps our now. But if we get any other pick, anywhere between 2 to 10, are you trading it?
Yeah.
I would probably agree with you. It's so hard to know because you got to see how the playoffs shake out. But like we have to be hard. Like come playoffs, if you want to have a stake in the game, since the Blazers aren't going to be there, you've got to be rooting hard against the Sixers to have a monumental getting swept in the first round, hoping Joel Embiid becomes available, or you got to hope hard or root hard against like the Clippers, hoping like I don't know, Kawhi Leonard becomes available. Maybe root hard against the Lakers and hope.
Kawhi ain't coming to Portland, but yeah, it's
Dude, because like it's so hard to know who would be the so-called star to go after.
who's the
But
best player that's even came to our team, like not drafted in the last 10,
oh,
20, 20 years.
through trade,
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Jeremy.
yeah, and he's not even an all-star. Like,
In the
come on.
last at least like 10 years. And Dame's
Even
career,
before that, who? Like no
like
one. Like
Scottie Pippen, but that was like 1999 or something. And that was
yeah.
also when he was like 35.
And that's when the Blazers were actually good. Made the finals 2 years in the '90s, and then won a championship 10 years before that, or 12 years,
Yeah,
'77.
it's
Anyway,
just the land of mid right now in Portland. Portland Trailblazers suck. Portland Timbers suck.
yeah. I mean, everyone. I don't live in Oregon
Wes
anymore.
Lynn loses in the state championship.
Yikes! Everyone. I don't live in Oregon anymore. When everyone talks about Portland, they don't talk about the mountains like that people would used to talk about Portland 5 years ago. They don't talk about how nice the people are. They just talk about two things: liberals and riots. And it's unfortunate because that's how many
Yeah, they don't talk about
people.
roses anymore.
Yeah, they don't talk about roses. They talk about smoke bombs. It's unfortunate, but it's the brutal reality. They talk about syringes. It's unfortunate, but it's 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 the reality. No one likes
See,
it
I
here.
can't say that because I had never lived in Portland, but
And
you
I'm
can
gonna
say
say,
that.
if any NBA players watching this, Portland is not that bad. It's pretty good. It might not be good as you're Dallas, you're Miami, you're Los Angeles, you're New York, but I
Better
think
than
it's better.
Sacramento.
Yeah, it's better than Sacramento. It's better than Denver. It's better than OKC. It's better than Indiana. It's better than anywhere in Ohio. Come on, guys. But yeah, come to Portland. We need it for any
Yeah.
stars that are watching. But yeah,
I don't even want to go through the process of making picks for this week. So I don't even know when we play or who we play.
I'm gonna say we go 0-4. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
But so disappointing. I really thought this was gonna be a good year. I really did.
Well, it once again just
No, it wasn't.
it once again just gives us a fun off season of a ton of questions and hopefully a ton of moves.
I'd rather be asking questions about a performance in the playoffs, though. But
Oh
okay.
yeah. Let's preview who we're gonna draft. No, I want to preview who we're playing in the finals.
Yeah, and I don't know if you got subscribers. Yeah, I'm sorry if your feed's getting spammed by March Madness, but we don't want to talk for the Blazers. So,
No,
but
yeah, we did it last year and
we'll still give you
it's
guys
fun.
our
It's fun.
podcast though all the time. But just unfortunate, man.
Yeah. Well,
What are the
I
chances we get Victor? Throw up a number. 100%
okay,
chance.
right now I'm gonna go on a Tankathon. We'll do this
All right.
live on the pod. Go to mock. I don't know if you can see that. Well,
Not really.
I'm hitting sim lottery. We just got a third overall pick.
All right,
See our
trade it.
logo third. So
Trade it. No
Victor
Victor.
went to Charlotte. They'd given us a point guard, Scoot Henderson. Do we need a point guard, Cody?
We do need a point guard. We're lacking on the guards.
Yeah, we have no scoring from the guard, no veteran, no good
I,
play from the
I
guard.
wonder what it's like to even feel just as a fan from an NBA team like, oh, we need a guard. I just wonder what that thought feels like.
Never felt like we've ever needed a point guard.
Yeah, like I wonder what teams fans are like, oh, yes, we got a point guard. I can't
Felt that
imagine
back
that
in
feeling.
2012. Never felt it again.
I don't even remember
Me neither.
anything. Raymond Felton or
Ooh,
he was
I have Raymond Felton's autograph.
cool. I went to his camp.
What are you taking? A Raymond Felton autograph, a WNBA ticket, or a $1 bill?
Give me the give me the bill.
Bill could turn into something.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't know what else to say. What's our schedule looking like? Not that I care. I
okay,
feel like we do.
are you seriously asking that question? Like
No,
you
yeah,
care?
I don't care. Nope, I don't care. I'm not. I'm gonna
All right,
say it.
off the
I'm not
Blazer
watching
talk.
Blazer
Off the
games.
Blazer talk. We'll give it like 5 minutes of the off the trail topics, just because like I doubt we'll drop an off the trail this week. So,
Yeah.
have you had your spring break yet?
No. How about guess where I'm going? Because I actually am going somewhere. I am going home for a little bit, but then I'm going somewhere.
For
I'll
like a
give you
couple
five.
days?
Give you five guesses. Yeah, for I'll give you it's 6 day trip.
We're going to see. It's probably a warm climate, but I'm less gonna
My
guess a warm. What?
my family is from Portland, so
Oh
if
yeah.
that.
Okay, so you're going with fam?
Yeah,
Okay, that's a key component.
yeah, that is key.
You're going to Arizona.
No, but I'm gonna say like okay, that's a good guess though.
Have you
I'll
been there
say it.
before?
Yes.
Vegas.
No. Good guess. Great guess. It's a great guess.
How long are you gonna be there?
I said 6 days.
Oh, am I sniffing the region at all?
Hmm? I mean,
Arguably.
you're going the right way, I guess.
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe. No, that's not a warm place.
Well, isn't it warm? It's kind of like it's
It,
warm in the summer.
yeah, not the spring though, but yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
it's
Um,
cold up there, high altitude, windy, but yeah.
San Diego.
Nope. Kind of getting there, I guess. No, I don't know. All right, give you.
If it's like Los Angeles where you go to college, that's just stupid.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Uh,
No way you're making a trek back to the islands out there in the middle of the Pacific.
Hawaii. That's your guess?
Yeah.
No, not Hawaii. That's
Well,
a good guess
I
though.
didn't think it was Hawaii, and then you said, "Is that your guess?" I was like, "Oh, it must be Hawaii."
Yeah, well, I like to play with your mind. All right, you're out, but keep
No,
guessing though.
you said six guesses.
I did I say six. All right, one
Yeah, I don't
more
know
then.
why you said six. Cabo.
Yes, you got it. What a clutch pull at the end. Snagged it at the end there. Yeah.
No, that's
And
good. That's good stuff.
then Wes is going to,
Wes
he's
is
not here right
currently in the
currently
Bahamas right now.
on a nice little cruise. That's cool. I've never been on a cruise before.
I don't like cruises.
You don't like them?
I would, I,
Do you get internet?
yeah, there's like Wi-Fi,
Yeah, but
but I don't know once they're off the cruise if they have, since they're overseas, it like costs money to send texts and stuff. So
yeah, people always say like, I don't know, the West Coast on spring break really isn't that warm. Like it's warm, but it's not like the East is way warmer over spring break. People like to
oh,
think,
it's been freezing the last like week here.
really? Okay, well, I'm thinking more like
But yeah, no,
Florida, but
yes, it normally is warm. Yeah,
like
Florida's definitely warm.
everyone thinks Cabo on Mexico side, California. It's all this warm, nice place on spring break. I mean, it's pretty warm, but it gets low 60s at night, high 50s. It's not
Yeah,
chilly, but
I'm just not a I'm not a big beach guy.
yeah, or
Like
East
obviously I'm
Coast.
choosing the mountains over the beach, just because like I think you said it on the off the trail, like as you get older, you kind of just appreciate the mountains more.
Hmm.
And I also like the only thing I like about the beach is like the beach like town vibe and like I don't actually like going on the literal beach. I would rather just like sit by the pool in a beach climate. I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah, I feel it. Did you go anywhere with spring break? You just went home?
Yeah, I just went home. But I am going to the beach in like 2 weeks,
Hmm. Cool, cool.
just for like 4 or 5 days. Um, but it's the same beach we always go to. So
Hmm.
playing a little
About
golf.
about the summer, got any summer plans?
None right now. I might be going out to MT to Montana at the beginning of the summer to like help with like some wedding they're putting on
Hmm.
at
Cool.
RBR, but no summer plans right now. I gotta get a job.
Hmm.
You get a summer job?
Uh,
I mean, you have a job right now, so it's different.
yeah, maybe. I mean, for my career, basically, I kind of want to do, at least for the moment, something medical field related at the moment. That's what I'm aiming for. So,
Yeah, go be the Blazers doctor. We need it.
but like some maybe like hospital related thing over the summer, possibly. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably have to take some online classes too. Um,
Yeah, might take one of
my
those.
my my online classes and my summer classes won't make me stay in Montana for only 3 days though, so don't have to worry about that with me.
I mean, when it comes to the summer classes, I don't know if any of you guys watching are in college, milk that GPA in the college. Milk, I
Summer
think this
class, yeah.
milk.
Did you take any last semester or last summer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hammered, but I probably will this summer. But yeah,
Question. Oh, question. And this is
yeah.
a genuine question. I think I
Hmm.
know the answer to it, but like, does your GPA actually matter in college?
Does your GPA actually matter?
Like, come down. Like, you just have to be able to have a certain GPA to get your degree, and no one when you're applying for a job is like, "What was your GPA your junior year?" They just see the degree. Is
You're
it just
talking,
help?
and you
Is it
said
just
college. You said college, not high school, right?
yeah, oh yeah, high school definitely matters. That's why how you get into better colleges. But like once you're in that college,
Yeah. Okay. It matters
matters to get
really.
into certain classes.
I'd say it matters. The biggest thing that matters is graduate school. Like if you want to
That's
go
a good
to
point.
dental school, for example, they're not even gonna sniff your resume if you're in the twos.
Oh,
If you're if
first off, like I just as like my I can't be in the twos.
you know you can't be in the twos. If you
When
want to
if
go
I see a
to,
C on my if I see a C, I'm like I have to get that up to a B.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Try to stay away from those. If you want to go to medical
I
school,
got like
for
four A's
example,
and one B right now.
that's awesome. Let's keep it up. If yeah, you got a medical that requires
Like you're
three
here
point.
for school, why not do good at it?
Yeah, that's like 3.5. What else? I'd say mostly comes down to graduate. But if you're a business major,
Yeah.
a gender studies major, doesn't really matter now, does it? But I would say it matters a lot. It really does. I'd say it's most probably important thing, in my opinion.
Your GPA?
What would you say is more important?
Well, I don't know like what is important because I'm just thinking like your GPA in high school obviously matters because that's what gets you into the like better and better colleges. But um, once you're in college, does it really matter if you have a B minus compared to an A minus in a junior year class?
I'd say it
Because at the end of the day,
depends.
you're just working toward your degree. Like obviously, yeah, you bring up good points. Like if you're trying to go to graduate school, but if you're just trying to get a degree from college and have that to help yourself get a job coming out of college, like your grades, do they really matter?
I would
Now
say
that's literally just from the like point of view of getting a degree. I have my own personal motivation to get good grades because I just don't want to have bad grades.
mhm.
But it's just I've always thought about that or recently.
I think it matters a little bit, probably less than matters than high school because that's what gets you into college. But I would say certain fields do require, and that's the biggest thing that's gonna make you stand out is stuff like that. And then there's little things you can do, like if you have work experience in this field,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
so a lot of graduate schools require you to take like a test, not the SAT, but like similar related to
Oh,
that.
if
They
I
they
take
have
the
their
SAT again, bro.
they have their own names, like specifically that matters. But yes, I'd say it matters pretty significantly if you want to get into certain fields. But yeah.
Yeah, I probably agree.
So how are you? Your first, you got three A's, one B.
Four A's, one B.
What
Actually,
classes?
one might be teetering on like a B plus, like 89. Right now I'm taking a statistics class, which is my 1B. Taking
Mm-hmm.
just the regular business class. I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking geology, which is actually really interesting. I'm surprised how interesting it is. I
Mm-hmm.
got a geology lab with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm taking like just the standard writing class you take your freshman year. And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking like a urban planning class, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was going to be really interesting, but whew, that one's a snoozer.
Snoozer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because like I've always kind of like been into like architecture and like buildings and skyscrapers and
Mm-hmm.
cool
Yeah, me too.
house designs, but like this
Exactly,
is
me
not
too. I
that.
took that class too, and
You
that
do
was a
like urban
snoozer.
planning?
I didn't have to, but I took it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an elective, but I was late on getting in my elective, so I like missed out on all the good classes. But like this is like let's stop building highways and let's let's learn about
renewable
zoning,
energy and
yeah, and all
houses.
that sustainability. So not my cup of tea,
No cup of tea.
but I have like a good grade in it. But it is funny. Anytime like the professor starts talking about highways, at some point she's gonna be like, and it's just like it's super unhealthy, like cars and greenhouse gases, and it's a really bad thing in the world, and it's just you
I
just know it's
mean,
coming. She's probably right, but
I just don't know how I can look at some people in my school straight in the eye and know they paid 300 grand for a, gender studies major. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But
yeah, I got a little Scully money, just a little bit.
oh, that's good. That's good. Good high school work. Yeah.
Nothing crazy. If I could go back though in high school, I probably would have taken my freshman and sophomore years a little more seriously to set myself up to have good courses in my junior and senior year. But
I wonder what our age group of people watching us, their age group is.
I
I feel
think
like
it's
they're
I think
probably
it's
like
majority like 20 to 30, but
mid 20s.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
actually
what
look
I'm
at that
saying.
right now, and you know what? I'm going to because
I'm
oh,
just curious how many people relate to us because I feel like Blazer fan podcast listeners would be not like under 18-year-olds, a lot of them.
but I also
But
feel like majority of the older demographic would rather listen to the thoughts from like some other Blazer podcasts that are more so like
yeah, I wonder how many people are still
men.
here though after not talking about the Blazers for 10 minutes. Wonder if you
Um,
guys find interesting, but we do off the trail podcast, which is everything not related to Blazers. We try to do it once a week.
it would be fun to do a little off the trail podcast, like just talking about just like our brand as a whole and everything we've tried and gone through, and from the website to merch to YouTube issues.
Speaking.
Speaking of, did I tell you some like randomly out of the blue, someone bought a shirt?
No, I didn't. But for those that you don't know, yeah, we
Speaking
got we
of,
got demonetized a week ago after our March Madness preview videos for reused content, and don't know what was anything reused about it, as it was just a blank thumbnail with our um, thoughts of the games and our predictions. Maybe one was a San Diego State fan YouTube monetizer,
oh yeah,
but
sheesh, wow. Some of the comments are like, "Oh, it's so good to come back to this video and just look out just how bad it is." Okay, you want to hear the percentages?
yeah.
You want to guess like what's most and what's the least?
All right, I would definitely
I'm
say
gonna go based on
also,
last year days.
what are the interval
Yeah, age
distributions?
ranges are 13 to 17, 18 to 24, 25 to 34, and then just like plus 10 up. So
All right, I'm gonna
35 to
say
44.
25 to 34 is the most.
Yeah, that's the most with 31.9.
Then I'm gonna say the one below that.
18 to 24 is second with 23.5.
And then I'm actually gonna go 35 plus as equivalent to 13 to 17. I'm gonna go 35 to 45 next, or whatever that
35 to 44 is 18%. And then it goes 45 to 54 at 11%, 55 to 30 to 55 to 64 at 7%, 65 plus at 6%, and 13 to 17 is only 1.9%.
is. Really?
That's
That is
very
really
interesting.
surprising because a
I gotta
lot.
think the 65 plus is getting carried by Grandy, Andy.
Our grandparents, a lot of
No,
people
no, that's the.
in my high school, like to talk about the Blazers, do what
But
we're
you have
talking
to
about.
think that a lot of people, when they make their YouTube account, they lie about their age. Because like
Yeah, that is true. So you can
when
have
I
like,
when I was making an account, I said I was 18. Because I feel like there's some things you can't do when you're making a Google account. Like you have to be a certain age.
yeah,
I'd be wrong.
but
93% are male,
that makes sense.
6.4% are females, 0% are neither.
Okay.
That's what the numbers say.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but okay. Interesting.
I don't know why you're laughing, bro. That's really sad.
It's just funny because I can just see it in your face. You're like, and 0%. The world has been very interesting. All
We
right.
have to.
Uh,
What are where are most views come from? 88% in the United States, 2.4 in Canada, and then some 0.5, 0.4% in Philippines, United Kingdom, Australia, France, Wemby.
Wemby.
We get Wemby, that's gonna shoot up.
Checking on the pod, Wemby. All right. How about some from Bosnia? No. No,
No,
no.
none from Bosnia. I'm a little surprised.
Interesting. Any from?
Um,
No, never mind. But
Yeah. It is. Oh, something that's interesting though. If you look up Rip City Rundown on Google now, our website is actually the first thing that comes up now, which it wasn't originally when we dropped the website. Maybe in the summer we'll get that running again when we have a little more time, when there's some little things more to talk about, because I think it can
yeah,
bring some value. But maybe we
yeah,
do an off the trail pod talking just about the brand of Rip City and just rambling on just the adversity we've had.
yeah. But we're not big yet, but we will be soon. Note this.
Yeah.
Yeah. How big do you
At the end of the
think?
day, we are just a speck to
How
YouTube.
big do you think the Blazers like following is, and how the future of this looks? Because here's the thing I was interested about. Because obviously we have our competition, whatever. There's like 5 Blazer channels that are have more subscribers than us, whatever. But like, how do you think the Blazers? I think that like our topic is as a whole, because some YouTubers specify in a certain video game, but like the Blazers are never gonna die. They're only get probably more popular as just
Hmm.
population
Yeah,
goes up, and
that's
they're
fair.
just a sports team, and because like video games like die, but like
I think a genuine realistic peak for this, and this is like you might think this is absurd, but I would say like 50K.
I don't think that's absurd. I think
Okay, yeah,
that's
because like I look like there's like baseball pods that have like 50K, and there's
and like what if we
NFL
stayed
pages that have 40K.
and like what if we stayed at the top of our content throughout Blazers for the next 10 years? How popular are the Blazers 10 years from now? You just got to think as sports teams sports is just always going to
Yeah,
get
it's
a
all
little more
there's
popular. It's just
yeah, that's a good point with the whole video game thing. Like all those Fortnite YouTubers are dead now.
yeah, like yeah, I don't know.
Like
It's
when
just
I say dead, I mean like obviously just like have fallen off from what their peak was. They're still probably have their core viewers, but
yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it, but yeah, and just interesting. And it would help our freaking channel if the Blazers decided to do
yeah, facts.
something.
I wonder if I could have a 5 minute conversation, just Dame across behind my computer right now, across the table, and just
Yeah.
look him in his eyes and say, "How do you feel knowing that you're costing us thousands of dollars by losing this many games?"
He doesn't give a singular crap about us.
Oh yeah, I know. I think the ways we would grow those just like continuing what we're doing, but also like being a little more bold and trying to get people on the podcast and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But again, it's really hard to do it when you can't have good stuff to talk about. So
No, well,
but that
we'll
was a
see.
good little off the trail session to end out the podcast because I doubt we'll do one this week, given Wes is on a cruise, but
Hmm.
I guess you never know. Any final thoughts about Blazers or anything else we talked about, or are you good?
I think that's all. I think I got nothing else.
All right, well, be on the lookout. I guess end of this week we will be dropping Elite Eight previews. So I don't know if that will be the two of us, if that will be three of us, if that'll just be me, but you will see that, and then just a couple more March Madness content videos throughout the rest of the month. And yeah, we'll still drop a podcast every week, but probably won't be until the off season when we start really going back to big time Blazer content. But make sure to follow the Instagram, Twitter,
Yep.
TikTok. Just hit
Just
10K. Congrats to
okay.
the TikTok. And make sure to subscribe and like, comment something. And we'll see you in the next podcast. Peace.